Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 131 of the Yarnivore Podcast. I will be your host, as always. There is no Becca. She is recovering. She had a tattoo, a very big tattoo, so big that it was just the outline so far, and then she did her 25-hour video game-a-thon for Extra Life, which supported children hospitally things. Because I'm ever so technical. It's 9:30 in the morning. It's actually 10:30. I'm not used to this whole time change thing because Saskatchewan never changed its times. It's the only province in all of Canada the time doesn't change. And I'm running real slow. I hope that doesn't pick up too bad on the recording. Whatever. Stop looking at yourself. Anywho. Busy week. Lots of stuff going on. First off, I do have a finished object. I made a pair of the ballet flats. And mine are covered in fur and schmutz because I've been wearing them. And I will probably put them on as soon as I'm done. But you've seen them on everything. Everybody's been knitting them. I did mine out of Eaton brand Lady Fair. I'm going to throw my shoes over. I took the garbage out right before I started recording, so I'm still wearing my shoes. Not that that matters. Apparently we're going to get 6 to 7 inches of snow by Wednesday. I'll be feeling real Canadian then, that's for sure. So I finished the ballet flats. They were quick. It took me like a night because I was having some knitting malaise. And they kind of kicked that out, so that was good. I hate when the malaise sits in. You know how the malaise sits in and you're just like, I don't want to knit anything. I didn't want to knit. I didn't want to spin. I didn't want to think. I wanted to sit in a blob on the couch and do nothing. Primarily because I've been fighting something off. And the hubby stayed home from work one day because he was really sick. And I was like, oh God, that's going to hit me hard. I think he kicked it out in 24 hours. I think I will have this sludge that's going on for at least another couple weeks. I'm used to that. I'm very congested. I slept 18 hours one day. Like, I am just so run down. Not in a bad way. Just in a, I caught it sick, and it's going to take a while to get kicked out. Oh well. Having said that, thank God I have a job where I can sleep 18 hours a day. One day, and bounce back if I need to. Yeah, so that's my finished object. That's all I've got for finished objects. I didn't knit very much either, but I knit a lot. Go ahead, follow that oxymoron for a minute. Don't even look at me. Don't even. She's looking at me. Beetle wants to be up here. This was my, perky purchase, my Jackson Galaxy shirt. See the G that has the whiskers. Love the G that has the whiskers. It's awesome. But he has if you go to his website, there was this flash sale on Halloween. Everything was 31% off, and I was like, 31% off? Yes, I need something now, because apparently at 6 in the morning when I'm looking at Twitter, bad things happen. Things fall in my cart, and this was one of them. And you can get 3 different kinds of this shirt. One that says, get a cat. One that says, get another cat. And this one says, get more cats. So I really felt the need to... I'm at carrying capacity. No more cats can enter my life, despite the fact that every time I see anything, I want a kitten and a puppy. Some women, they hit 30 and they get the baby drive, you know what I mean? I've seen women do this. They hit 30 and then all of a sudden it's baby, baby, baby. They want a baby. No. I hit 30, I want kittens, man. Which is also why I have this pin. And you can't read it, and that's probably a good thing, because there's a swear on it. It says, F y'all, I'm the Earth Mother, and it's true. If I ever do bear children, that's going to be me. I'm just going to be a giant mama cass rolling around, being all Earth Mothery with my moss. I'm sure that's what you came to this show for. And she's going to say, what? What? With moss? It's a running joke. Don't even try to understand it. Anywho. Ha! You can't reach me. Oh, my baby. Beetle's here, and she's going to get slightly placated, if only because she has an eye infection. And of all my pets, she is not the one to take to the vet. I would rather go to the vet on her behalf. Like, if I could transmute myself into her little furry body, I would, because she is the worst to take to a vet. Seriously. You can take Bebop, and he thinks he's getting groomed, so he's gonna, like, shake a little and yawn a lot, but nothing. Quite frankly, pet him and give him a treat, and he's good. Petrie, lots of noise. You may think she's going to kill you. Nothing. Just, she's all talk, no game. Beetle is all whine and urine. So I'm going to have to deprive her of water long enough so that she vacates her bladder before she gets into the cat carrier. And it's no fault of her own. She's just, it's a traumatic experience for her, and I feel bad when I do it, but she does have an eye infection. So this week she's going to the vet. Honey's making an appointment today. How is your eye? It's not unusual for her eyes to weep. Not weep, but like, tear, because she has allergies. She's an old allergic cat. That's what she is. She's just a giant old, blissfully unaware allergic cat. But this is not standard allergy procedure. She has had this infection previously. So I know what needs to be done. I just don't want to do it. And she is the worst pill taker ever. Well, she's probably the best pill taker because she doesn't take them. She is one of the few animals I have ever met in my life that can, like, hold it in her mouth until it basically dissolves and still, meh, out it comes. There's butter involved. Like, I mean, you can hide it in anything. She'll eat everything and then just, meh, right back out. Greenies, yeah, pill pockets, not happening. Put it in cheese, no. Put it in salmon, no. Put it in shrimp, no. Put it in anything, and she can eat around it. And this is 7 minutes just talking about my cat and my awesome shirt, and I think you should go get a shirt. Jack and Galaxy shirt, because it'll make your boobs feel happy. That a portion of proceeds from each sale of everything goes to different. He has a different shelter of the month every month, and there's feral cats and stuff. And oh, you know me, I'm such a sucker. Just tell me it's going to the kitties, and I'll do pretty much anything. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's like, will you bake us bread for the cats? Yes, I will hand grind that wheat myself. Beetle sitting in my lap, purring away. So I did, however, get some knitting done. I'm going to attempt to show it to you with a very cranky kitty in my lap. Well, she's not cranky, actually. She's purring because I let her in my lap. But this should be interesting. Because it's not... I can knit on them. See, I'm very lucky. When these ones pass and I get a new brood, because let's face it, takes forever for us to die. It doesn't take as long for them. When they pass and I have to get a new brood, not that I have to, but I will, whatever, tangent, I'm going to have to retrain them because Beetle does not care about yarn. She doesn't. Like, I mean, I can play with her with yarn if I have like an end or something and wiggle it in front of her, and she's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to touch that. That could be bad news for me. Like, I can knit on top of them. I could set my project bag down right now and just start knitting and she'd be fine. But showing you stuff, it's a little bit harder just because there's like, up and down, doing the Numa. Whatever happened to that guy? Anybody knows what happened to the Numa guy? Someone should tell me. Okay, so in my Blinger string bag, which I won at SSK, it has the SSK 2013 stamp on the thingy, and I have the stitch markers too, but I'm not using those ones. Like I said, knitting malaise, I did the ballet flats, and then I was like motivated, and then, what is it? It's bugging me, and I've got bad hair. It's just, November. Are you gonna suck like October? I'm so worried November's gonna suck as bad. Seriously? Whatever. Gonna have psychotic hair. There we go. Okay. I'm Robert Smith. After the knitting malaise, I looked at the patterns I had. I looked at the things I had. I was like, the only plain thing I have to knit is a stripy sock. And I was like, I don't feel like it. There's stripy socks for my hubby, which is more than fine. But it's like, seriously, I just don't, I'm not in the vibe. Mostly because I'm dyeing a lot of stripes right now. So it's like, I don't want to friggin' knit them and dye them. I had a moment. I'm allowed to have moments. So I was like, I need something boring and plain. Boring and plain means a giant bag. How great is that? And the bag matches my shirt, and it's got dragonflies. And I loved that it had dragonflies. I may have put every single ticket I had in this one to win this one because I wanted the dragonflies. Because I'm a Coheed and Cambria freak, and it's got a little notions bag. Which I'm actually going to, like, put... I'm going to set it up like my little baddie bag that I have, so that I have the stuff I need in it. This one, like, clips into this bag, so it's like hardcore. This bag is hardcore. But the cat is purring, I tell you. I decided I needed something boring. And seriously, you haven't seen this. I cast it on, like, November 1st. So, really, I sat on the couch and did not sleep, if you can't tell. I cast on the Calligraphy Cardigan by, I believe, Hannah Fettick. It's a knit-bot pattern. It's for sale on Ravelry, blah, 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 blah. This is Madeline Tosh DK in the Fjord colorway, which I bought, like, pretty much as soon as I moved here. So this is from March. And I bought it with the intention of doing the calligraphy. US 4mm needles, Chiagu lace, Chiagu red. Not the one with the little bendy thing. I have hiccups now. Yay. So I cast on. And I got pretty, like, there is no easy way to show you a raglan sweater when you're alternating skeins, which I am doing, but I realized I didn't need to do because they're basically all from the same dye lot. The ones that aren't from the same dye lot will probably end up in the sleeves, and I really don't give a hoot. But so I knit most of the ball, and then at the end of the ball, I'll alternate every 2 rows, just to make myself feel better, and I don't really need to do it. And yes, I know my hair is still bad, but I bought bleach. It'll be fixed by next week. Don't worry. So I cast on, and I've separated for the sleeves already. See, there's a sleeve. It's really bunched up. Like, let's not assume I'm this tiny, okay? Like, if I was this tiny, I probably wouldn't have a podcast. I'd be at the gym 24/7 or something. But I have separated for the sleeves, so I have the thingy, the giant flippy flappy. Woo! And after doing the tubular, totally tubular, just remember Ninja Turtles. After doing the tubular cast on for all the Aislinn stuff, I did the tubular cast on for this, and if you use the Isolde Teague one, it's a long tail tubular, and it tells you how to do a 1x1 rib or a 2x2, and this is a 2x2, so this was my first time using that tubular cast on and switching it to a 2x2. I think it came out really nice. I like the stretchiness of it, because I really didn't want it to be not stretchy, because it's supposed to go over your shoulders, and I got big shoulders. I'm just like a big shouldery mess. Like, if I lost a significant amount of weight, I would turn into a triangle because my shoulders are just that big. It would be like that's what would happen. It'll never happen because I like food, but if I were to, like, if for some reason I woke up tomorrow and I weighed 100 pounds, I'd be a gelatinous ball of skin. But I would still have these shoulders. These shoulders aren't going anywhere. They're like rock hard bone mass in there. So, yeah. Still going to be built like a brick shit house. So if this is going to go down around my shoulders, I want it to be able to move more than the static non-movement of the longtail cast on, which was where my tangent was going. For a show that has very little knitting and spinning, content. Oh crap. Never mind. There's winners, and I forgot who they are. Back to the subject. It's going to be a long show, whatever. So, yeah, there you have it. Arms are separated off. I am in the decrease zone. I'm using my cute little stitch markers from SSK. There's my SSK 2013. Yay! And I'm vending 2014 and I'm excited. Seriously, I'm already thinking about like cool random stuff I'm gonna do. Just saying, there's gonna be some wicked awesomeness. So I've started the decreasing for the waist. We'll call it the waist. I have no waist. You know, more of a rounded, and then there's like an indent for the hip, and then there's the butt. But the butt. So I'm only doing it in the back because I do have a back, and it does have like a little bit of a noticeable difference as opposed to the front, which bulges. So I'm only doing the decreases in the back, and then I'll increase them in the back, and I'm leaving the front alone because basically I want this to be comfy. I want it to be my go-to cardigan for when I'm friggin' cold. Ironically enough, it matches my hair kind of. Oh, the washed out look. And Fjord is really just a gorgeous color. It's actually a black, a very muted green, and a tealy blue. Loving it. But seriously, who doesn't love Tosh? Like, this is deep, well, not deep stash, but this for me was, I will save this for a rainy day, and it will never rain. Never. But it did, and I started it. And I'm really just enjoying knitting this because it's so mindless. Like, apparently I needed a stockinette because that's what I did. And I loved it. Every stinking second. Now, before I hit the point where I had this malaise on Wii, maybe, I did start the right front of the Aislinn sweater. So I did get a little bit. I did get the, and this looks so tiny compared to the other one, but this is actually just half. Just so you know, this is half. And I went down a little because it grows. This grows when you, like, as soon as it touches water, it goes ploop. So there you have it. But I got the tubular cast on, the 1x1 rib, and there's a little patterning in here, but just a little bit before I hit stockinette. And then this pattern and this pattern, they stay static all the way through. So, right front is casted on, so I have the right front. Sorry, that was bugging Beetle's ear. I was getting the flick of doom. Yeah, you said you gave me the flick of doom. They know you're evil. It's okay. These are on 4mm too. Apparently, all 4mm I have are the Chiagus, and that doesn't actually mean anything. But, so I have the right front to finish. The left front is done, the back is done. So the right front and the sleeves. And then I'll be done this sweater. Apparently I'm in like must-knit garments. Might have something to do with the winter warning advisory we've got on right now. Apparently 6 to 7 inches of snow. And of course that project is all being stored in my marvelous, fantastical Princess Bride bag, which I adore. And we'll now zip up. Not that Beetle tends to play. Oh, honey. Yeah, I know. She hates it when I wash her face and when I pick at her face, but it has to be done. So, those are my 2 works in progress. I didn't touch my socks. I didn't touch my riot shawl. I didn't touch anything else. No touchy. No touchy dilemma. But, spinning for some reason. I did some spinning. Thank you. So, and this is the first bobbin. This is the first bobbin. It is the, I can put my hand behind it, but it doesn't really do jack. This is the first bobbin of a 3-ply I am spinning out of Spunky Eclectics Falkland. The colorway is Joshua Tree. I got 8 ounces of this, and my purpose is that I'm going to spin 3-ply. This is going to be DK weights. I believe it's DK I'm spinning for. 12 to 14 wraps per inch, so I believe that's a DK. It might be a worsted. I'm not 100% sure right now. Don't quote me. I've been up since 5 in the morning. So I'm spinning this. This is the first bobbin. There will be 2 more bobbins, and I will apply them, and they will be the first skein of what will eventually become the Less is More cardigan by Amy King, which I've wanted to spin for a while because it's a nitty pattern, it's a free pattern, and it's actually written to be done with hand spun. You can do it with like hand painted or whatever, like you could do it with regular, but I wanted to do it out of hand spun, and I want to do the long sleeve version with a sewn in zipper. And the thing is, for the long sleeve version, for my size, for smaller sizes, for you wee folk out there, it's 4 ounces. And she just 2-plies it, but I'm doing 3-ply because I want a 3-ply, and I just felt like it. But for my size, it calls for 8 ounces of each. I'm not sure. I don't really think it matters if it's 8 ounces because you can just color change. Like there's theory at how to do this. Like I mean, there's a whole article on Knitty which I recommend you go read because it's actually very informative. But basically you do 8 ounces of different spins, and then you gradient them into each other, not spinning wise, but while you're knitting them, so the transitions aren't as abrupt. And you do the same thing in the sleeves. Now mine calls for 8 ounces. My size calls for 8 ounces of each color. They're the lower sizes. I think anything under a 40-inch bust calls for 4. I'm not 100% sure, but let me tell you, this 44-inch, this beastly bust, yeah, you need 8 ounces of each. So, and it goes up to like it goes up pretty high. And it calls for 8 ounces for all of the other ones. So if you're over a 44, you need 8 of each color, and that's not really a big deal. I have 8 ounces of this, so I'm going to spin it 3-ply, and quite frankly, I'm just going to keep going. If I need to throw in a 4 ounce at the top to do the top half or whatever, not a big deal. Not a big deal here in Sadieville. If you didn't notice with the whole Spinzilla thing, I have a lot of yarn, and that didn't even like dent my fiber stash. Well, it did, but now I can put it all into the fiber tub, Rubbermaid thingy, no name Rubbermaid, whatever it is, Sterilite? Sterilite. Now it will fit in the Sterilite container, whereas before it was the Sterilite container and 3 different shelves. So there you have it. Speaking of fiber, that's the only spinning I've got. I did drop spindle, but I didn't finish a poonie, so I don't feel the need to show you an unfinished poonie, as you've already seen the unfinished poonie. Too many poonies. And not as much fun. It is turning out gloriously. I do take longer to drop spin, which just makes sense to me, but yeah. Which reminds me, I am cleaning up 2 of my wheels, the Louette S10 and the Nautilus Leclerc, and then I'm going to list them for sale. They will be going up on probably on the Twin City Raveler group first. But if any viewers want to contact me about them, if you're looking for well, one's a fairy tale. I don't recommend it for anybody who's just learning how to spin or gets frustrated easily. If you are more comfortable with that, or if that's what you really want, then go ahead. The Louette S10 was my starting wheel. I love it. It's just, I'm not using it, and I feel bad about that, and I really think that if there are spinners who want to get to learn, it's a great wheel. Anywho, doing that at some point this week. They'll be up on the Twin City Ravelry group if no one contacts me. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to put the money away so I can get an e-spinner eventually. Because I'm a total lame tart like that. Because if I get 2 wheels out of the house, I can save it up to get a mini spinner. I just tend to use my Spinolution Queen Bee a lot more than anything else. So, segueing into enabling. I don't have a lot of enabling for you, which is probably a good thing. I told you about this last week, but I did want to show you the Spunky Eclectic Fiber of the week, or of the month, this month. I love this. I love it. And seriously, you can start and stop whenever you want. It's like $21 a month for the US. It's reasonable for international, and she does international anywhere. The colorway this month is on Cheviot, and it's called Geisha. And I really like it. I've never spun Cheviot. It's a hearty wool. Purples, grays, reds, greens, hints of black. It reminds me of a kimono, so I'm really digging it. I'm looking forward to spinning it. It's not scratchy. I'd put it on par with like a Romney. It's not scratchy. It doesn't have that scratch appeal. I'm looking forward to it though. I look forward to all my spunky eclectic stuff, and I find I spin it more just because I am in the club. She's put my leg to sleep, y'all. Okay. The other thing was there was a fiber festival. I believe it was the Fall Fiber Festival, or Upper Midwest Fall Fiber Festival. I don't know what the whole acronym is, but it was in Hopkins, Minnesota, which is not far. Like, seriously not far. In Canada, if I said I was in Regina and I went to the thing in Pilot Butte, it means you're going to drive outside of the city for 10 minutes before you hit the small town. It's not that way in America. Still getting used to it, because it's like, I take the freeway and I don't actually go outside of a city. I can still see all these houses and everything, but I go on this interstate, freeway, whatever, the 35W, and I turn onto another one and I drive a little bit, and I'm in another place. Like, you're driving, and it's like there's a sign that says you're in a different place. And I'm not used to that. I'm getting used to it. It's like I've been here for over 6 months. It's still kind of mind-boggling to me personally. Like, Becca lives in Minneapolis proper. I live in Bloomington. We're still close. It's not like I'd be driving to Moose Jaw from Regina. And I'm using a bunch of references that no one's going to get, but whatever. Nitty Witty Shell will. That's probably it. Well, no. My Canadian people will know what I'm saying when I say this. Like, I mean, but there you have it. So I went to this fiber festival, which was really fun, and there was a lot of stuff, and at one point, here, hubby, have my wallet. Just take it and don't let me. Just don't. So, there you have it. But I got poonies. After I've specified that I just don't like paying for poonies, I bought poonies. But these poonies were $10 a pack. And, quite frankly, well worth it. This is Surrey Silk and Other. From the Sunrise Surrey Alpaca Ranch in the Woodland Rose colorway. You're going to see a lot of glare. There's no way around it. But there is a green. It's a green and a pink and a white and a taupe. They're gorgeous. And then these ones I am like over the moon about. These are Creation, and it's Surrey, BFL, and Angora. And this one is a green and a tan. Stick me around a bunch of alpaca. And there were fleeces, and I was just like, don't buy another fleece just yet. Just don't. I'm going to try and hold out to Shepherd's Harvest to buy a fleece. But there you go. Just look at that. I love the colors on this. This is really well packed on there. I'm pretty sure these are roll eggs, but hey. I don't care. They're beautiful, and yeah. There's 4 of each in each colorway. And once I'm done with my HR roll eggs, HR Knits roll eggs, I'm probably going to put these on a drop spindle. Just saying. They may not make it that long. They may actually end up on this guy, who I finally got a little spinny thing for. So now we're going to get to know each other. I freaking love these. Lori from Deerfield Creations is a genius. And the other thing I bought, and it spoke to me, and you can tell why. This huge, massive bat. It's got bright greens, it's got bright pinks, it's black, it's orange, it's very Halloweeny. From Crosspatch Creations, it is wool. Now this is the cool part. This wool are Romney Corriedale crossbreeds from her flock, and their names are Gordon, Merlin, Steele, Vanessa, Constance, Linda's Girl, Victoria, Shelley, and Sabrina. So I know the names of the exact sheep that are in this. As well as Tussa, Bombyx Silk, and Viscous. Please note that this will produce a slightly textured yarn. I want to know who doesn't know that. Probably beginner spinners, but beginner spinners should expect that they're not going to get slim yarn. I don't know. And spinning and washing suggestions. 4+ ounce of Black Hills Gold, and I love this woodcut. I'm not even going to lie to you, I kind of want to get it as a tattoo. Not even going to lie to you, I want that lady and her spinning wheel as a tattoo. But then again, I have a soft spot for woodcuts, so I don't really think that that's a shock for anyone. And that's pretty much everything I had to say. On the sad front, I will not be attending in the Mitten. Just stuff, and I'm not really going to go into detail. Carrie and I spoke about it, and she's been very gracious about it, so that's awesome. On the backhand of that, because I'm not going, everything is pretty much going up in the shop, and you can't see behind me. Maybe if I lean right there. There are like 60 skeins of yarn warped for stripes, ready to go. So those are getting dyed up ASAP. Pretty much going to be dyeing all this week. There will be a shop update. It will either be Friday or Saturday, depending on my drying time. Because of the weather change, it's a little hard until I figure out how long it takes for stuff to dry in the weather change. So either Friday or Saturday there will be an update. That will be posted on the Knitter's Nightmare group, where I post everything. And then I tweet and plurk and Instagram when the shop goes live. The best way to find out when and what time, what day, etc., everything's being done is really just to join the Knitter's Nightmare group. There is a November knit along for keeping your hands warm. I'm looking at the Girl from Nantucket Mittens Fingerless Mitts by Laura of the Knit Girls. That just went live. It was a Attempted Pinup Club thing. So I'm probably going to start those because I've been stocking that pattern basically since the club. And I really want to knit it. And so we're having a Warm Hands knit along for November. There were winners for the sock knit along. That was pretty epic. There were a lot done. So some really tall socks as well. I think it was Cthulhu Loves Me who did like a pair of knee highs and a pair of calf highs. Like, seriously, girl, you're crazy. Seriously. I boggle at your abilities. The winners will be posted in those threads respectively, blah blah blah. You will be contacted, blah blah blah. Or you can contact me, blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. Have to be a member of the group to win. And aside from that, that's all I've got this week. It's been a really up and down weird week. Just with sleeping so much. But I'm on the mend, and everyone needs to get more cats. And I will see everybody next week.